food lovers, and welcome to another episode of Cooking 100-Year-Old Recipes. In this episode, I'm making a recipe called rice with cheese. I'm making it in individual crocks, that's just my preference, but the recipe indicates that it would be made in a large baking pan, family style. So first I'm going to butter them as directed. And that's my kitchen butter that's always at room temperature that I'm going to be using later in the dish. Now the recipe says to steam 2 cups of rice, which would equal 4 cups, but I made half that amount. And I don't see why you could not use leftover rice if you have something from takeout or another dish you made previously. And I'm just going to start layering. So rice goes as the first layer. And a few grains of cayenne as directed. And this doesn't make it hot. It gives a nice gentle depth of flavor. This is a very delicately flavored dish. And I'm going to use the softened butter to dot on top of the first layer of rice. I have my block of cheese. It says to use white cheese, not specifically which one, but I'm using Monterey Jack, and I have it very cold. I had it in the freezer for a few minutes before I started to shred it with the vegetable peeler because it instructs to use shreds of cheese. And if the cheese is not very cold, you could hurt yourself. You could do very thin slices with a sharp knife, but I do this a lot with my cheese, so I'm very comfortable with this. Now the layers should be repeated until you use 8 ounces of cheese in proportion to the 4 cups of cooked rice. So for a large casserole, that would be quite a bit, probably 3 or 4 layers. And you could use pre-shredded cheese if you wanted to make it a little bit more simple for yourself. I'm only doing 2 layers because these crocks are not that large. And more cheese. This is my top layer. And a few more grains of cayenne. Then it says to fill halfway with milk, and that will keep it from drying out while it's baking, as well as give it a slight bit of creaminess. Next, I'm going to butter the crumbs for the topping. The recipe uses cracker crumbs. I don't have those. I'm using panko because I like those. Nice and crispy. And it's enough butter to coat every crumb completely. That will help with browning, of course. I'll just evenly spoon a layer over the top of each crock. And I'm going to bake these in an air fryer, which is a convection oven, until it's brown. Everything's already cooked, so the cheese just needs to melt and the crumbs need to get golden. And it's done. This is a really delicious recipe. It's got a relatively neutral flavor, and it's not as heavy as something like a macaroni and cheese, but it's a little bit more special than just having regular rice. It's nice comfort food. Rice is my favorite starch. I really enjoyed this. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.